That is a stunning piece of wood. I would have never thought in a million years that that would have ended up coming out. Don't even see it very well because it's so shiny, the light's reflecting off of it. But I took that bit. So this is the project. I'm calling it my prehistoric bowl, as you can see from the title. The reason being is because it's old, chunky and rough around the edges, just like me. So, sticky and horrible. So yes, so yeah, nothing else to say really. It's failed. No good. So I'll see you guys next week. Fresh new project, one that works. And take care. Speak to you soon, and bye for now.
Hello, welcome guys to another live. Thank you everybody for coming over. We've got some new faces in the chat as well, which is absolutely outstanding. I'm going to go through a few people in the chat first off. We'll start at the top. We've got something from the shed. I recognise the channel name, but I can't remember the name. So if you're still in the chat, then please put your name in so we know your name. That'd be great. Then we had Tommy, then Steve Ellis, John. Who else about? A new lady or someone new, 1958 line dancer. Her name is June. Welcome, June, all the way from Queensland. Thanks for coming over. Who else did we have? Dr. Bob is in the house. Thank you, Dr. Bob, for coming over. Spoiling himself with coffee and donuts, I see. Who else we had? Jay, Wooden Things is in the house as well. Who else we got? Colin Roberts, Keith, welcome guys. Thanks for coming over again. It's nice to see you all in. Gentleman Woodturner, Mark is in the house as well. So, morning Mark, how are you? Who else we got? Any more new faces? Colin Roberts is in as well. I think there was one other new face I saw. Where was he? We've got Robbo in as well. Welcome, Robbo. Hope you're having a good day, sir. Who else do we have? Robert Doug Woods, Steve, welcome. Doug Miller, welcome over, Doug. Sean, how are you? Managed to get another morning off, sir. Come and see us. Nice to see you in the chat, mate. So yeah, some new faces. It's nice to see some new faces in the chat. And thank you very much for coming over and spending some time with us today, or this afternoon for us. I don't know what it is for you guys over where you are. But as always, I've got my lovely wife. She's my airworm. So she'll be telling me what's going on in the chat. No doubt there'll be digs and ribs. So yeah, I look forward to that because I really do enjoy the little bit of banter we have in the chat, which is quite good. So it's great. It's all what it's all about. It's a little bit of fun. So today, what I want to turn today, excuse me, is put some lights on so we can see a bit better. So this is a greens bowl. What it is, it's made from vigman. I don't know. I can't even pronounce what it's made. It's made from a hard bit of wood. And someone in the chat, I put in the chat what it's made from. So last time I turned one of these, it was really, really hard, and this is hard as well. I tried to start turning out with a force and a bit, but I gave up because it just smoked and didn't do nothing. So what I've done is off camera, I turned a tenon to grab it so we can get it turned. So what I'm planning to do is make a small bowl from this, and yeah, sorry, I just read a comment and put me off, so sorry. Yeah, I'm planning to make a small bowl from this. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard going because this wood is like rock. It's supposed to be one of the hardest woods in the world. Whether it is or not, I'm not sure. That's it. Robbo's put it in the lignun vita or whatever it is. Yeah, I see that. That's what put me off when I read the chat. So yeah, that's the plan. And the good thing with these are when you polish them up, they polish like a mirror because the wood's so hard. You always get a really, really good finish on it. So my plan is I'm going to not part this off. I'm going to turn this so we get rid of some of this curve on here, and then I'm going to give it a bit of a curve, get rid of some of it, put a tenon in the bottom, no, a mortise in the bottom, sorry, and then we'll flip it and hollow it out and do it that way. That's the plan. I am the worst husband ever. You're right. It's a big cord. We're going to put a bit of rope through it. No, joking. So that's the plan. So we're going to get the bottom started. I know it's going to be hard going. It's going to be slow going. So it's just going to be a case of playing along and going through it, mate. Who? Hi, cuz. How you doing? Thanks for coming over, mate. So let's get the bottom turned, and we will go from there and see where we go from that. I know I did drill a hole in there to try and get it onto a worm screw. And it didn't really work. So actually what I might do, I might put a mortise in there and use that as the bottom. That might be a better idea. So we don't get the hole through it. So anyway, let's get it flattened on the bottom, get it sorted out and go from there. Right. A bowl light pull. Be a bit big. Hi Baz, how you doing? Hi Jappy, how are you? Who? Oh, Von Hank. Hello sir, how are you? All the way from yes. Yeah, I can't remember. Too advanced. I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far, Fred. But I will turn a light pull. I will, just to shut you lot up, I will turn a light pull. No, I don't think so. So anyway, let's get this bottom cleaned up. Oh, safety glasses would help, wouldn't it? No, Von Hank. He's the gentleman who makes the Brandon irons for the bottom of your pieces, and he also does the insert plates for in the bottom of your pieces as well. So any of you guys want a Brandon iron or the little metal plates to go in the bottom of your pieces, Von Hank is the man to go and see. He's on Instagram. I'm not sure whether he's got a YouTube channel, so if he has, if he can just put it up there that he has or he hasn't, that would be very grateful. So yes, very nice stuff he makes. As you can see, it's very hard. Always. I can guarantee turning this I'm going to have to sharpen my chisels a couple of times because this is so hard, as you can see with the strains coming off of it, or the strings coming off of it, shall I say. I just want to try and turn some of this bottom away so that we can get rid of part of that hole. Because although I know it's going to be the bottom, but I don't really want to see too much of it in the bottom. These are a bit dusty as well when they're turning as well, so it's going to be a case of slow and steady, I think. But we'll get there. So as you can see, we're getting a little bit of tear out there where we're going against the grain. So I'm just going to try and speed up a little bit, hopefully we can get rid of some of that. I don't want to try and force it because obviously I don't want to overheat my tool and blunt my tool. But hang on. Right, go. What holes? That hole I put in there was going to be on a worm screw. So that is around about 15 mil deep to take. Well, actually, it's the depth of the worm screw. So, but because the thread is so hard on it, I couldn't get it to bite without stripping the thread out. So, what I'm trying to do is, I want to try and turn a lot of that away so that we don't get that hole in the bottom. But there is a bit of cracking coming in there. I know the wood's hard. Oh, actually, hi, Libs. How you doing, babe? So that's the plan, Keith, to try and turn some of that away, really. So I'm just going to depth gauge that, see how much further that's got to go. Yeah, I've got another 10 mil at least on there. Do, 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 do. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I could do. Just put a tenon in the top here. Or mortar, should I say, in the top there, because it's still quite deep. I'm going to lose so much if I'm not careful. That's a good idea, guys. I'll mark it and use that as the top, because it's got a bit of a crack in there as well anyway, so that would perhaps be a better idea. So just enough to get the jaws in it. Do, 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 do. Obviously the initials, whoever used to use it was, what's that? Is that DE? Looks a bit like DE to me. Who? Oh, all nice, I hope. Playing nicely. So the date stamp on this is a date stamp on here. Obviously, if you was playing in leagues, you have to have a date stamp. You have to have them stamped year, or I think it's every 5 years. And that's got 19. It looks like 96 to me. So obviously that was the last time they were stamped. But when I've got another one over there. This date stamped 1954. But it's got an award plaque in the middle. So I'm waiting for a special occasion to use that one. But these are made out of like an ivory. So I've got to turn out. I did try to get the other one out whole, but they just smashed up. But we'll just turn this out. But I want to try and keep some of the shape. I want to try and keep the natural shape of the ball, but I want to just obviously clean out where it's been bashed and battered about. That's the plan anyway. But these are so hard, it's unreal. It must be a plastic, I reckon, not an ivory. Thanks, Libs. If there's any sound issues, because I'm using a headpiece today, just put it in the chat and then Nick will tell me. But if it's too loud or too quiet or whatever. Who? Barry Oak. Is that a new one? It's nice to see all these new faces coming over. Whoops. The plaque's out. So we'll just clean this up a little bit. That is not far off of the width I could really do with. The lot. Good. Yeah, the last one I turned of these, I turned into a potpourri pot. So, but I only used, I think I turned it all with the carbines, to be honest. So it was hard going, really hard going. because we all know that carbines are good, but when it comes to stuff like this, so I'll centre that up now, mark that. And we'll mark the centre of that. Barry Oak. Hi Barry, welcome to the channel. Have you been before, sir? Can't remember seeing your name. If you haven't, then welcome. Thanks for coming over. Yeah, Andy. Hi Andy, how you doing, sir? I love your Harlequin. Absolutely amazing. If you guys don't follow Andy on AH Bespoke, then you really need to go over and subscribe to Andy's channel, because he is an amazing carver. Absolutely amazing. Hi Steve, how are you? Phew. Just make sure that's tight. A little bit bouncing there. Certainly hard. I wouldn't normally turn this out with a gouge, but I think it would have been there forever. Something on there. Oh, is he? Oh, cool. Yeah, whereabouts are you, Barry, then? Who? Really? Bloody hell. Oh, yeah, he said the other day, actually. Yeah, he said... That is so hard. It's unreal. Yeah, Colin said the other day, actually. I think it was Thursday dinner time that he lived in Lynn. Used to live in Lynn. Right, so I want to try and get some shape on this side now. Question is, do I use bowl gouges or do I use scraper? Let's go for a gouge to try. Just to try and get it true. Let's move the camera so you can see. Sorry? Barry? Oh, is he? Not far, Barry. About 6 miles. Look like what? Maggots. What? Yeah, there is a little tiny bit in there, Mark. But it's only like half an inch in the bottom. It's not huge. It's not. It's not gonna. It's 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 not very far in at all. Is the picture very jerky, guys, or is it just me, or is it just the way um, the screen's showing it? It looks like it's a bit jerky. Just let me know if it is, please. Right, so I've got. Look like I've got jaundice. I'm just going to take that back a little bit further because we've got a few. Which? This one. Oh, it's this one here. This one here. I'm going to get a cloth and just wipe it. Fisherman's. Well, that I don't know. That I don't know. I'll just finish this up and then I'll take it out and have a look. It just seems a bit jerky, so I don't know if that's. Well, as long as it's a good picture, but it just looks on the camera. It just seems a bit on the monitor. It just seems a bit jerky. But as long as it's okay, I'm fine with that. Let's move that around. Yeah, I thought it was. I'll have to. Yeah, it's about right. That's better. We had a few little dinks in it still. What I want to get rid of. All right. Well, if it's really bad, then I'll throw it for next time. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my extraction on. If it gets too noisy, shout, and then I'll mute it. Filming in 3D? Is that good or bad? Oh, right. Sorry? Right, June. I am going from grit. The first one was 120. Then I'm going to go 240. And then I'm going to go with Yorkshire grit to finish it off after sand and sealing it. So I'm only going to sand it with 2 grits. If you can get a good finish off your tool, you don't need to really go anything below 120. But obviously, if you're a learner, like I used to be, then I used to have to start from 60 grit because it was it was that bad. But with a little bit of practice, you get to a stage where you can go from 120. So yeah, that's what I'm going from. I'm going from 120, and then yeah, 240, then Yorkshire grit. So we should have 2 cameras on that one. Why haven't we got 2 cameras on there? Oh, I don't know. Today's just being a bit of a pain in the bottom today for some reason. Right, let's get this sand up. So get this sanded, and then we'll, like I say, get it sanded and sealed, and then we'll get some Yorkshire grit on it, and it should bring back that nice finish we had, a nice shine. So, won't do. Who said that, Keith? Well, I was thinking that because there's quite a bit of oil in it. It's quite an oily wood. So I was wondering whether I would have to sand and seal it, to be honest. So let's get the Yorkshire grit out. So we're going to give it a coat of Yorkshire grit, original. And I may also give it, because it's so hard, I may also give it a coat of the microfine. So I'm going to rub this in, and then we will. Alright, got someone revving up the motorbike at the back of it. What? Yeah. So yes, anyway, right, we're going to rub this in. We're going to not massage it. We're going to rub this in, and then we're going to run it up slowly to make it cut. And then once we feel it's starting to cut, we're then going to slowly increase the lathe so we can get the most benefit out of those abrasive particles in the paste to give us the best shine possible. What you can do is you can feel as it's starting to cut, you'll feel the paper go smoother, and then that's when you can sort of speed your lathe up a little bit to help it cut a little tiny bit. So as you can see, you can see the dark bits in where the cutted pieces are actually sticking to the cloth. So now that's getting a little bit smoother. I'm going to speed up just gently, just so we can get the fine particles working. Like I said, there's quite a bit of oil coming out of this because you can feel it in the wood. Yeah, it is. It's a very nice piece of wood. This stuff always is though. But disadvantage is it's like rock. So what I'm going to do now is I'm now going to buff that off. And we want to keep buffing until we've got no residue on our tissue. Hi Mike, how are you? Thanks for coming over. So as you can see, we've got a bit of a sheen coming already. And that's just with the original, with no finished product. Yeah, it is. It's a nice piece of wood. I'm quite lucky really that my dad can get me these as and when, because he plays greens bowls. So he did get me a few to have a bash with. Like I said, I've got that one was dated back from 1950, but I'm waiting for a special occasion to use that one because it's got an award plaque in it, which I don't really want to trash unless I really have to. So as you can see, we've got nothing left off of that now. And there she goes. That's just with the that's just with the original. What a beautiful piece of wood. So what we'll do is we'll put the the microfine, where you go, Yorkshire grit microfine, over the top of that, and that should bring the shine up even better. So I believe the Yorkshire grit original goes up to 1,000 grit, I think it is, and then this I believe up to 2,000 grit. So I mostly use my microfine on resin pieces because you get a real nice finish on your resin pieces with microfine, and you use it exactly the same principle as we did on the last one. So turn the lathe down, cut it in, and then as you can feel it wearing in, just gently speed up the lathe to get the final polish, and then buff it all out exactly the same as you did the original, so there's no excess left on your cloth. As you can see where it's cut, the colours coming into the cloth. Compressor's just kicked in. Nicola's just pooed her pants. So I'm just going to speed up a little tiny bit, only to about just under 500 RPM maybe, just so that really works its way in to cut those last little bits out, because I want a nice shine on it if I can get it. I want it back to its original, nice and shiny if possible. No, not yet. So now we're just going to polish it out. This is paper towel, June, I'm using. 3-ply paper towel. I'm not a great lover of using cloth The reason being, if it catches, it can drag your hand. I mean, everybody's to their own principle or preference, sorry. Some people like using cloth. I know Chestnut do some cloths, which I have got that I haven't tried yet. But I'm just a little bit wary of using cloth if, um, just in case it catches and grabs your hand into the lathe. At least with paper towel, if it grabs, it's just going to tear. It's not going to be a major issue. Libby, I'm going to make a little tiny bowl, babe. That's the plan anyway. Yeah, it's a light cord pull for a big pull cord. I've got some 7 or 8 gauge uh, rope I'm going to put through it. Yeah. So there's a polish just with Yorkshire grit. As you can see, we've got a nice shine on it already. But I'm going to go even further. I'm going to use some chestnut friction polish to give us an even better shine. Now, some of the American guys use shine juice. Now, I've tried to make shine juice, but I haven't ever done it with any success, to be perfectly honest, because it's shellac based. No, it's not. To be honest, Damos, it's not the best 3-ply in the world. But it's the reason I've gone the 3-ply is because the 2-ply I was using, when you was putting in your sanding sealer and your wax on it, it just disintegrated, and it just you left more on the sugar lumps. Yeah, I know. You ended up leaving more tissue on the piece than you did the sanding sealer or anything else. So that's the reason why I'm trying. I've only had the 3-ply for a few weeks. I haven't had it long to try. So that's why I'm trying it, but it's not the best 3-ply in the world. So with the friction polish, you put a generous coat over, and then it's heat that gives you the shine. So obviously the lathe at about 500 RPM, and then you're relying on the friction between the friction polish and the paper towel to give you your natural shine, just like that. And as you can see, the shine is coming up really, really nice. And you can put several coats on. The more coats you give, the deeper the shine you'll get. Hi Hugh, how are you? Yeah, I've never used J-cloths. It's worth having a bash at. Raid in the cupboard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give that another coat, because I do like a nice deep shine. But as you can see, it's got a real nice shine to it already. I'm going to... No, Barry, I did one, well, maybe 6 months ago, maybe a little bit more than that. I did a potpourri. Sound a bit posh now, don't I? Potpourri, a potpourri pot for one. So this is the second one I've done. Oops, tissue's going down. But I do like doing them. They are a bit awkward because they are really hard, but they are worth doing when they're done, because they do turn out really, really nice. And like I say, because they're a hard wood, they do turn out, as you can see, the shine. Look at the shine on that already. See, have a bit of a... Thank you very much, you. Who? GD Woodturn. I know the name. I'm just not sure. I'm terrible with names. I know the channel name. So as you can see, we have a lovely shine on there, and that's just with 2 coats of friction polish. Obviously, the more coats you go, the better it'd go. Now, if I was going to do that and leave it finished, I would then put like a microcrystalline wax over the top of it. So just so when you touch it, you don't get your fingerprints all over it. So let's hang on. Let's go on the camera and let's go. No, the friction polish is made by Chestnut Products. The Yorkshire Grit is made by a gentleman called Glyn Senior up in Scarborough. So totally different companies. Chestnut Products don't make, well, they do make a cut and paste, but I always use Yorkshire Grit because I prefer it. I haven't, to be honest, I haven't tried Chestnuts. I think it's called cut and paste. I haven't tried it, so I wouldn't know what it's like, and I don't intend trying it because I use Yorkshire Grit. Yeah, don't get me wrong. You mean I tried making some shine juice? It's there. It's shellac, methylated spirits, and I believe it's Danish oil. But for some reason, I just can't get a shine like that using it. I know you have to put several layers on and build the shine up, but I still can't get a shine like that with the friction polish. And for the case of a tin of friction polish, I think 14 quid. It cost me that for buy the raw materials to make the shine juice, so I'm happy just using the friction polish. Oh, hello, Gareth. Oh, Larry's in the house as well. Hi, Larry. Oh, what bowls? You don't have green bowls over in. Right, okay. So, but like I say, they do come up. Let me just take this out, and if I can do it, I don't know that tight. So let's just, so as you can see, it's got such a beautiful shine to it. And because it's such a hard wood, it's easy to get that shine back. Frederick Day, another new face. We had loads of. Who's put that? Frederick Day. Like I say, Frederick, I haven't tried their cut and polish, so I wouldn't know, sir. Like I say, I've always used Yorkshire Grit, and I'm a great believer in if it keeps working, then keep using it. So, thank you, Dale. You're adamant I'm going to paint this wall, aren't you? He said, yeah, I'll paint it when I move my lathe. So what I'm going to do now is I've now got to try and hollow this out, and I've got a feeling it's going to be a nightmare. So let's move the extraction out of the way. I'm going to spin this out a little bit, just so I can. Can you guys still see? Oh, you won't know because I ain't moved the camera yet. No, not that one. This one. Still see okay? Yeah. Um, what was JD's name? Sorry. Yeah. Graham, did you say? Oh, Gareth. Yeah, give it a go, Gareth. It is a good product. I've used it since I started, and I've not had any bad results with it. They do a couple of different ones. They do. Let's go back on this camera here, just so we can. They do a couple. They got the friction polish, and then you've got the melamine lacquer as well, which is very similar. But you have to use it slightly different. Again, you build up the layers with that one. I've not used that a lot. I've only used it a couple of times. Excuse me. But yeah, it's friction polish. I have never ever had a product that I can't get or an item that I can't get a shine on with the friction polish. Which again, if a product that you use is working, then why change it? And that's that's I always go by that. And I mean, I know there's a lot of other products out there, and there's a lot of other manufacturers out there, and yeah, of course you can, Dale. Hang on, Dale. Just 1 second. Yeah. Um, Yes, not a problem, Dale. And Andy, if you want to plug yours as well, mate. Where's Andy? I'll make him moderator as well. Is he gone or is he still in the chat, Andy? It is shiny lips, very shiny. Yeah, so again, with the products, if they're good, then I carry on using them, because the trouble is you keep changing, you never know where they're good and where they're not good, and it's just a pain. So Dale's a spanner. Right, so let's have a go at turning this middle out, and wrong channel, and then we'll see how it goes. I might have to finish it with a scraper like I did the last one, because I don't know whether I'm going to get my chisel in there or my gouge in there very well, but we'll have a go. It's a bit wobbly. Get a bit better than that. That's better. But we just have to sort of go and see how this goes, because of we know we've got that crack in there, and we will just take it slow and steady, and hopefully it'll hold together. I think I might actually. I might take the centre of that out with a forcing a bit. I think that might be better. Yeah. Well, what's cheating? I'm going to take that with a forcing a bit, because if not, we're going to be here till 6 o'clock tonight. And you kind, yeah, I'll be here on my own. You kind people have obviously got better things to do at 3 o'clock, like going seeing Dale. So I'm going to go up through the sizes. So I'm going to start off with a small one, and I'm gradually going to go through the sizes. The reason being is because the wood is so hard, we're going to cause issues, and overheating. So we're going to start off with, what size is this? I can't see it. This is a... Who, sorry? Oh, thanks for coming in, Sean. Great to see you in the chat. So hopefully, we'll be here next Sunday as well. So if you're about, pop in, boy. Right, so I'm going to turn these out slowly. So I'm using... Oh, is it? So, get that on there. So I'm going to run this through, and I'm going to go up through the sizes. And like I say, this is so hard. You can see how hard this is by how much effort it's taken to go into the wood. Yeah, no, I agree. And I mean, I know a lot of people might say it's cheating because you're not actually turning it out. But do we need to turn every single piece out from the start to the finish? At the end of the day, it's all about the finished product, not about how we get there. Yeah, it makes. I mean, especially on something like this. If that was just a normal piece of ash like we did the other weekend, then I wouldn't have worried about it. I'd have just turned it out with a gouge. But because of how hard this is, we would be here all night long trying to turn that out. And like I said, I can remember the last one I did. It took me best part of 2.5 hours to turn the middle out. So, and I'm not going to go too deep either, because I don't really want it right down to the bottom of the piece. Two reasons. One, because it don't need to be. And number two, we've got that crack running through there, so I don't want to risk my luck and have it fly apart. Did Dale put his channel up? Is Andy still in the chat or not? So we're about halfway. No. So we're about halfway through now. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go roughly to the depth of what the, just before the chuck hits the top of the piece. And that should be deep enough. It is hard, you're right. Absolutely, it is hard. It's really hard. And you can smell the oil in it. It's got real, like a, I don't know, it's sort of a foisty smell. But whether that's the oil in it, or whether that's the wood itself, I'm not 100% sure. But as you can see there, that just proves how oily it is, how it's holding together. Look. Say again, sorry. Lignun Vita's funnel. No, that means don't go through the bottom of it. Ouch. Oh, right, okay. That's fair enough. Yes, Larry, it is a bowling ball. Or green bowl. I think they're called King Green. King Greens, are they? King Green Bowl? I don't know what they're called. But they're hard. Whatever they are, they're hard. The whole family will be over here. I do a competitive rate for family. So hopefully now we've got the main centre out. It'll be a little bit easier to turn. If I go up perhaps 5-10 mil at a time, then it should turn out pretty easy. Yeah, it was a little bit hot, yeah. Yeah, I heard that rumour before. When I did the last one, someone commented and said that these used to be, because it's such a hard wood, they were used for ship bearings. And I, you know, I mean, how hard they are, I can imagine that they, I mean, it's feasible. Yeah, damn hot. The other ones ain't too bad because we're only taking perhaps 10 mil at a time. Double the price for family, yeah, because you've got to put with all the grief afterwards as well. Crown green, yeah. Sorry. Hi, Dad. How you doing? Yeah, this is your fault, Dad. Something different. Everybody say hi to my dad, Richard Benton. It should be Bunton, but he spelt it wrong. Yeah, because like I say, I mean, you can see that coming out of there. That is really oily. Sorry? Good. Hey? He's responsible. So we're getting it. Yeah, that's his BT in it. He set the email up on his BT account. And they spelled it wrong on BT. So let's get this. We're getting there slowly. Really? Excuse me. It's amazing that this day and age we're still using wood for bearings with all these new materials we've got, and we're still using natural products. Yeah, that'd be all right. God's sake, she's moaning at me because I'm putting the Forstner bits away dirty. I'll get the polish out afterwards and polish them if you like. Well, it's a bit different for them. They're drill bits, Nick. Oh no, got wood on them. They're going away dirty. So the question is, how big a hole have I got to take this up to? I think I've got one. I think the biggest one I've got is about 90 mil. I think that might be too big, but we'll see. So as you may all be aware, Nick had a go at turning the other night, or the last week. She hasn't been on the lathe anymore since, but I'm sure she will be. She's not allowed. She reckons she's not allowed. But she will come out here again, because I'm going to teach her how to make a light pole. What are you doing? You're missing them now. So, where's the 63? They're hot, Nick. You'll be careful. So we'll go up to 65 now, which is the last of the big ones in that set. And then we should be able to get onto the big boys. I don't know whether they'll cut them, to be honest, because they're only cheap bits. Can't hear you, hang on a second. Let's say again. Yeah, that helps. If I go bigger on the inside than the outside, that'll end up being a saucer. No, not normally. If I'm doing centre to centre turning, then I will put pinpointers in both chuck and tail stock to line them up. But on something like this, I just hide it because it doesn't need. Obviously, we don't need to be absolutely bang on for something like this. Oh, thanks, Robbo. Just pop it round, son. Keep me in check. He's got to keep. Oh, you got to keep. Did you hear that, John? She rules the roost everywhere, mate. Right, so this is 75 mil. This bit. It's getting warm. Jesus, that's hot. Yeah, I'm going to. See you, Libs. Get on with your schoolwork. So I think that's it. Bag the ribbons up. I normally bag them for putting in resin, but I've got about 400 bags as it is, so I don't think I need any more. Look at that, you can feel that really oily, really oily. So let's get the chuck out of the way before I smack my elbow on it. So let me just turn this around so you can see. As you can see in there, we've gone down. Yes, they do, very much so. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn that out. I'm going to start off with a bowl gouge, and I think I'm going to have to finish off with a scraper, to be honest. Because I don't think with the cut on the grind on my gouges, I'm going to get all the way down where I want to be going. So that'll be the plan. So good. Is everybody happy at the moment with the sound and the picture and everything else? If there's any issues, shout and Nick will tell me. Oh, that's hard. What? Yeah, he's saying the other day. That's hard. Really hard. I don't know if you guys can see, but I'm sorry, you can't. Oh, nasty. Because I can't get it. So hard in there. Absolutely like rock. Absolutely. That give me a little bit of a shock, that one. Try and get a little bit of support in there. Let's try that. Yeah? Yeah, good idea, Steve. Good idea. That made me poo my pants a little bit, that one. Who? Doug. Thanks, Doug, for coming over. Hope you have a great day, mate. I'm going to have to go to a scraper because the cut on my gouge is not quite, whoops, quite the right angle. Gentle, Stephen, gentle. Oh, come on, Stephen. Can't see in there, that's the trouble. Get a light on it. It's a bit better, I can see now. It's catching right on the back there. That's the trouble with hardwood. What's that for? Raise the rest a little bit. So let me just spin that around a little tiny bit. Nope. What's that hitting on now? Hey? It's just in the bottom there where that curve round. That's what's giving me issues. So we'll just go gentle. I can't get in there. Confidence, Steve. Confidence. No. No, I'm worried now. It's making me worry now that I'm going to catch it and hurt myself, and I don't want to do that. It's just there where it's catching. If I can't get that in there far enough to... It's because it's so narrow. Let's try that. Sorry? Sorry? Right. It's got to be another tactic. Got a great bumblebee in there. Look, get out. Let's tighten this up. Well, I've been trying to do that, but... Oh, thanks for coming in, Gareth. Nice to see you. I haven't got a negative rate scraper. But I can turn this into... I can turn this into a... the only other thing I have got is I've got a carbine. I wonder if I can get in there with an angler on a carbine. Let's try that. Sorry? Yeah, I know. I'm getting stressed out with it because not stressed out, but I just don't want to. A what? A 40 grit problem. Yeah, I'm getting stressed out because not stressed out, just I don't want it to. Not yet, anyway. It's just so hard, really hard. I think it might be in case that the scrape was a little bit too big to get in that back corner. Yeah, I think the scrape was just a little bit too big. I'm now using a 12mm carbine. That seems to be working a lot better. Thanks, Dale. Oh, yeah. I actually do have a hollering tool, Steve. You don't even think about that. Of course it has to be perfect, Larry. What's going on with you, man? Yeah, I'm getting a little bit frustrated because it's something that should be easy, but it's not. Because I knew it was going to be a pain because, excuse me, I knew it was going to be a pain because of how hard it is. But I think the scraper was a little bit too big to go down the bottom. It's not wine. So yes, I have got a hollowing tool. I've got the Simon Hope hollowing tool here, which I can try. Still in its box, yeah. Only ever used it twice. So what I need to do is get an Allen key. So I think the Allen key I want is on the bench. So I'm just going to put this together. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I've used it a couple of times, but not a great deal. So when I was watching Simon Hope's thing on how to assemble this, you obviously set it, because you've got a flat on the bottom here, you obviously set it so the tip is at a slight angle. So like you guys were suggesting, you're scraping it rather than digging it in. So that's what I'm going to do. And then hopefully we can just finish that off and just clean it. I mean, it's near enough where I want it anyway, but it's just clean it up. Yeah, that is the trouble. It does love hogging out wood. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to gently coach it in there. Be gentle. And see how it goes. And hopefully it'll be hunky-dory. So I'm going to have it a nice angle. Yeah, that's what I've got it at about. Nice, like that. Oh, have I? Sorry. Sorry, guys. The stress is getting to me. Oh, I've done it again. The vibration is pushing the... So I'm just going to check that out. I don't want to take too much out of it. Trouble is, the Simon Hope tools, they hog out so much material. You just fill your pot up all the time, whatever you're hogging out. That is so much better. So much better. So I think one more pass just to clean it up. Light pass, and I think we'll be about there. So like you guys say, the Simon Hope tool, if you're not careful, it will absolutely just hog its way through the side. Outstandingly sharp and really good, as you can see by that. Let's move that back. Should have got it in the first place. So what I'm just going to clean this room up a little bit and just round that off. And then I think we'll be about there. Just sand it out. I think we'll be about right. Have a Valium. Valium? Valium?
He said, no, never say one more part.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, just one more, just one more. Right, so what I'm going to do now is that's a little bit gritty, that is. So I'm going to actually start that from 80 grit. Because I'm not actually, no, I'll start it from 100 because I've got 100 on. So it's a little bit grainy in there, obviously, because obviously the carbine is a scraping tool, not a cutting tool, so we've got a little bit grainy in it. So I'm going to go from 100 and then work my way up to 240, and then she should be okay. Hopefully, be okay. But I appreciate you guys' help on things like that. Again, I've only been turning 2 years, so sometimes I do get not frustrated, but you get blinkered. You just get involved in what you're doing, and you don't think outside the box. And sometimes it's nice. This is part of the reason why I wanted to do the lives, because it's nice to have other people's input, and it really does help sometimes, because I always forget I've got I've got that hiring tool, and I should use it more than what I do, really, because they are good tools, very good tools. Sorry? Yes, it was. It was a Simon. It's with the 6 mile carbine on it. Oh, I have many times. Thank you, Barry. Nice to see you. And when this pandemic thing kicks off or calms down, we'll have to get together, seeing you're only up the road. Good, Colin. Um, I've learned so much from the makers in the community, and I just hope that some of that knowledge that I've learned gets passed on to some of you other guys, because we all have to learn somewhere. And as I mean, it's been 2 years since my channel's been live, and I've learned so much when I look back at my first video to what it was, to how nervous I was, um, how I was turning, carbines only or carbide only tools, to where I am now. I have learned so much in the short span of time of 2 years, and I've got a long way to go. I really have got a long way to go. But there's a great community, and all the advanced turners or the more knowledgeable turners are also helpful. And it's just like anything, it's just trial and practice, and with the practice comes experience. Yeah, always. Yes, this is Abernet sanding. I'm now using 100 grit because it's a bit grainy inside because when you're using carbines, they're not a cutting tool, they're a scraping tool. So I'm going from 100 grit, and then I'm going to go up to 240 grit. So it'll be 100 grit, 120, 240, and then I'm going to go to the Yorkshire grit original again, and then we'll go to the microfine. I don't know whether I'm going to friction polish the inside, whether I might just leave it with the finished microfine Yorkshire grit on it. I'm not sure yet. Yeah. I do buy replacements, which, and I will be honest, they're not the cheapest. The carbine tips for a good make, you're looking at around about £27 for 10. So they're not the cheapest. If I'm turning resin, then what I normally do is I will sharpen a piece, because resin really does knock the edge off your carbine pretty quick. You can sharpen with a diamond card. Yeah, yeah. I usually sharpen mine with a 12. Well, I go 600 then a 1200 diamond card to give me my cutback edge. But what I will say is they don't hold their edge like a new piece. If I'm doing something on a finish and I want a good finish on it, I will put a new piece in. So yes, you can sharpen them, but they won't hold it. Well, my experience is they don't hold their edge like a new piece. Um, the friction polish is not, I don't think. I don't think the friction polish is. No, it doesn't say whether it's food safe or not. You can buy food safe, lemon oil, things like that is food safe. The Yorkshire grit. Yeah, where's Glenn when you need him? The Yorkshire grit is all made with original natural products. And when you obviously are polishing out, all what should be left on the piece is beeswax. But I would imagine Glyn would say it's not food safe to cover his own backside. But the Yorkshire grit is not normally left as a finish on a piece. Normally you're putting something over the top of that. So if you was going Yorkshire grit, then perhaps put a polish over it. I believe, is the microcrystalline food safe? I don't think it is. I know it's safe for toys, but I don't think it's food safe. But obviously if you was to put a food safe finish over the top of your Yorkshire grit, then you can use that. But Yorkshire grit is not classed as a finish. Yorkshire grit is a cut and paste. I know some people leave it as a finish, but it's not classed as a finish. Where friction polish is. Hope that helps. Right, so we're up to 240. So we're all up there. I'm gonna take my glasses off. It's a bit warm in here, isn't it? So I hope that helps. Obviously, there's more experienced people in the chat to answer some of the questions. So I've sanded up to 240 now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over that with the Yorkshire Grit Original. I think you have to be careful with the Simon Hope hollowing tips because I don't know if you can see it on that one. But the Simon Hope tips are actually got like a contour in them. They're like bucketed out. So you wouldn't be able to sharpen those on just a flat stone. So like Steve Toydell's saying, I think you have to have a special sharpening jig. But that I don't know. I've never tried sharpening Simon Hope hollowing tool. Got a bit of move on. If not, we're not going to be finished for Dale. Sorry? So we're just going to polish up now with our Yorkshire grit, or cut it in. This will take it up to, well, anywhere between 600 and 1000 grit, depending on how much time you spend on it. And then we can then go over it with a microfine. The bottom's still got a little bit of a hump in it, but I'll finish it off camera. But we'll get this polished up so it's all nice and smooth, so you guys can see what it should look like. Yeah, the shave, they're very dusty. I mean, it's because it's so hard. But we managed to get the middle nice and smooth now because I've taken it from 100 to Dale's on at 3 o'clock. Oh, is it? Oh, cool. I thought we had less time in that. Sorry. Sorry, I thought we only had 5 minutes or 10 minutes. So I'm going to polish this up with the Yorkshire grit. I think what I might do on the middle, I might put some microcrystalline on it. Well, actually, I'll do the whole thing with some microcrystalline to give it a nice finish so it don't leave fingerprints on it. Yeah, should do. Not as shiny as the friction polish, but that'll be a fingerprintless. Sorry? Because it's inside. So I'm just going to go over that with a bit of microfine. It's getting warm. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Doug. Nice to see you back. Did you miss me that much? So I'm just going to polish this up till we get no more residue like that. And then we'll put, I think I'll put some microcrystalline wax over that to over the whole thing. Got a very paraffin-y smell, this microcrystalline wax. Soak in for a couple of minutes. I don't think that's soaking much, but just going to let. Yeah, that's the trouble, isn't it? So we'll just leave that. So as you can see, the bowling ball is pretty hard. It's, yeah, I remember the last one I did, it took me ages to hollow out. That's why I wanted to do this one with the force and the bits, make it a little bit quicker. And as you can see, the dust you get when you're turning it is just, there's no real strings, it's just dust. And I know it's raining outside. I can hear the rain through the roof. Yeah, so obviously you get nice strings from it when you're turning the outside, but when you're doing the inside with a hollowing tool, it's just all dust. As you can see, it's just all dust. But no, it'll turn out okay. It's be okay. That's the dog's balls. Balls. That's it. One strike. All right, just polish this up. Just get a final shine on it. Yeah. All right, what? Second. So, there we go. Nice and shiny. Not too, got a little bit of a lump in the middle there, but I'll sort that out off camera. But we got this side nice and smooth with the hollowing tool. So thank you very much for suggesting that. I always forget I've got it. That's the trouble because it's up on the shelf. So yeah, nice little bowl.
You've put great demo, Steve. Have a nice simple one next week. 10 course
In an hour.
in the hour.
No, I do like turning these. They are nice wood. Really nice wood. It's around about, I imagine it's got some calipers there somewhere. Maybe 5 mil thick, just over, maybe five, anywhere between 5 and 7 mil thick. It's just good. I like it. It's really nice. And like we all say, it's got got a lovely grain to it. So nice bit of wood. Hard, but nice. So works out really well. And that crack, actually, thank you, Steve. You shouldn't have done, but thank you very much. That's very much appreciated. We had that bit of crack in the back there, as you can see. And it's not actually inside there. So I'm hoping it's just on the outside edge. But yeah, I'll finish the middle off and I'll get some pictures up on the internet, on social media, just to show it finished. So yes, I like it. Been a bit of a pain, especially the inside, but I like it. Thank you very much.
That's nice, Steve. The grain's outstanding.
Thank you, Ian.
June says, wow, it looks great, Steve. Great job.
Thank you.
Looks great, Steve. And Larry, Robbo says, well done. John says, Steve, as Keith says, next lunchtime turning will be light balls, won't it?
You lot are. What about if Nick on Lunchtime Live does light pools?
No, that's okay, thanks.
That'd be better, wouldn't
No.
it? So yeah.
Mike says, see you at Dale's.
So thank you so much, guys, for coming over and joining me. It's been absolutely excellent as always. Thanks to my wife, the awesome airworm. She's done another great job as always, and I will get her on camera eventually. Not just yet. She's frightened of the camera, but she will come on camera eventually. So don't forget, guys, at 3 o'clock, Maple Street Studios. I believe he put the link in the chat, did he? Let's have a look. Did he put the link in the chat? Let's have a look. If I can find a link for the chat, then I'll for Dale's channel. Then oh, here we go. This is it. Yeah. So I'll see if I can find it and get Dale's link on the chat for you. And then we can, because Dale does some really cool scroll sawing work, and you all really need to check Dale out, really. So let's have a look. If I can get it in the chat, copy over. So this should be the link to Dale's channel. So he'll be starting at 3 o'clock, and he's doing a GRU. Oh, Dale's already put it in. Look, he's just put it in above me. So anyway, that's Dale's link for Dale's channel. He's doing a GRU. Dark, you're a bit late, mate. Thank you so much, sir. I'm not a hand model like Wayne, though. Right, so guys, go and check Dale over, or check Dale out, should I say. He's doing a GRU today on the scroll saw. Really, really good scroll sawer. And then tomorrow, dinner time. Hang on 1 second. I'm not sure. Dale, if you're still on, who's on tomorrow lunchtime, mate? Yeah. I know tomorrow night we've got Andy from AH Bespoke carving. And then obviously the week progresses on from there. Yeah, Andy's on at 5:30 today as well. So go and check Andy's. Oh, 4:30 then. So there's loads of lives going on. There's loads of premieres going on. So plenty of stuff to watch. So make sure you check out some of these other awesome makers, because they really are talented guys, every single one of them. So if there's no questions then, guys, I'm going to take my bowling ball, and yes, it possibly could be John. It could be Wayne at dinner time tomorrow, and then Andy tomorrow night at 9 or 9:30, one of the two. I need to make a list of who's on when, and so I've got it to tell you guys for the week's schedule. Yeah, thanks, cuz. So, me and my bowl is going to go, and I am very much appreciated for you guys to come over and spend some time with me. And cake. Yeah, so great live. Thank you very much to everybody who's came over. Great to see the new faces in the chat. Hope to see you again. We're here every Sunday between 1 and 3. And then for the time being, while I'm not in full-time work, I'll be doing a lunchtime live from 1 till 2:30, maybe 3 o'clock on a Thursday dinner time as well. So keep an eye open for the notification, and hope to see you in the chat. Looks good. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming over. Have a great rest of your day. Don't forget to go and check Dale. Don't forget to go and check Andy. And I'll see you on the next one. So take care. Bye for now. See ya. Bye.
That's all, folks.